You've built an agent that works perfectly when you demo it live, and then it falls apart the moment you try to write a single test for it. Sound familiar? That gap between it runs and it's reliable is where most agent projects quietly die. Here's the uncomfortable truth about testing agents. The thing that makes them powerful is exactly what makes them hard to test. Agents make decisions at runtime. They call tools in an order you didn't hardcode. They loop, they retry, they reason. A traditional unit test wants deterministic inputs and outputs, but an agent can take 3 different paths to the same correct answer. So the question isn't, how do I test the LLM's creativity? It's, how do I lock down everything around the LLM so my tests actually mean something? That's where the architecture of your framework matters more than most people admit. LangChain gives you fine-grained control because agents are assembled from explicit, composable pieces: the model, the tools, the prompt, the output parser. Every one of those seams is a place you can inject a mock. You can swap the real LLM for a FakeListLLM that returns scripted responses, then assert that your agent parsed the tool call correctly, invoked the right function with the right arguments, and handled the result. You're not testing whether GPT-4 is smart. You're testing whether your glue code behaves. CrewAI takes a different posture. It's higher level and opinionated. You define agents with roles, goals, and backstories, then hand them tasks and let the crew orchestrate the collaboration. That abstraction is fantastic for building fast, but it hides the seams. When your test fails, the question becomes, which agent in the crew went off the rails, and at which handoff? To test CrewAI reliably, you lean on mocking at the task and tool boundary. You stub the tools each agent uses, and you assert on the final structured output of a task rather than the internal reasoning that produced it. So let's get concrete about strategy, because this is what actually saves you. First, mock the model. Never let a real API call touch your unit tests. It's slow, it costs money, and it's non-deterministic, which is the enemy of a green checkmark. Second, test your tools in isolation. A tool that queries a database or hits an API is just a normal function. Test it like one, with its own inputs and expected outputs, completely separate from any agent. Third, test the wiring separately from the intelligence. In LangChain, that means asserting that given a fake model output like action, search, action input, LangChain testing, your agent extracts search and LangChain testing correctly and routes to the right tool. In CrewAI, it means patching a tool to return a fixed value, running the task, and asserting the crew produces the expected final structure. Notice what you're doing in both cases. You've quarantined the unpredictable part, the LLM, and you're rigorously testing the deterministic part around it. That's how impossible becomes just careful. And for the genuinely fuzzy stuff, the reasoning quality itself, you graduate to evaluations instead of unit tests. LLM as judge scoring, semantic similarity, golden datasets run in a separate suite that you don't gate every commit on. Keep your fast deterministic tests and your slow probabilistic evals in different lanes, and your CI stays sane. So the verdict is simple. LangChain rewards you with control and testable seams at the cost of verbosity, while CrewAI rewards you with speed at the cost of harder to isolate failures. Pick based on whether your priority is granular reliability or rapid orchestration. Tomorrow I'm walking through a complete, copy-pastable test suite for a CrewAI agent that actually mocks the crew end to end. So subscribe right now so that lands in your feed the moment it drops.